There are 15 easy ways to get the best possible cruise deal. I'm sharing them up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. If you're planning a cruise on a budget, then you'll want to find a cheap cruise deal because nobody wants to pay more than they really have to. The cost of a cruise can be a deterrent for a lot of people, but it doesn't have to be. If you're flexible in the planning process, you can find some really cheap deals that'll save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Now, finding a cheap cruise deal does not mean you're sacrificing quality vacation either. Cruise deals are due to the combination of factors: time of year, demand, and departure port, which means a good deal doesn't equate to a bad cruise. The most important factor when looking for the best cruise deal is flexibility. The more flexible you are when planning your cruise, the better your chance of snagging an amazing deal. Number one, book early. More often than not, the best cruise deals are found on sailings 1 to 2 years in the future. In most scenarios, if you're looking for the best deals, I really recommend booking as soon as possible rather than waiting till the last minute. Most cruise itineraries are announced about 2 years in advance. As itineraries open up for bookings, you can often find great deals, especially if you're open to book a balcony room or a suite. Number two, look for last minute cruise deals. Now listen, I just told you to book early, but in the reality, there are sometimes some last minute deals that are out there, but you really got to be flexible. If a cruise itinerary still has a significant number of empty cabins in the months leading up to a sailing, Royal Caribbean may drop the price in order to increase demand. This is most common after the final payment date for a particular sailing is passed, between 75 and 90 days before the cruise. Now, to find a last minute deal on a Royal Caribbean cruise, search the website for cruises and filter the results to see the lowest price. You can also use websites like vacations2go.com, which is a 90-day ticker showing the best, cheapest cruise deals departing in the next 3 months. Number three, sail on a one-way Alaska itinerary. Alaska cruises really have a reputation of being amazing and expensive. After all, it's not uncommon to spend over $2,000 for an interior cabin during the peak summer season. Despite this, I've really noticed a pricing trend over the last couple of years on select Alaska itineraries. One-way Alaska cruises tend to offer fantastic cruise deals, often as low as just $550 per person, including taxes and fees. One-way Alaska cruises travel from Vancouver, Canada to Seward, Alaska, and then reverse. These 7-night itineraries allow guests to experience more ports as well as spend more time in Alaska's interior before or after the cruise. While they provide an excellent itinerary, one-way cruises see less demand compared to round-trip sailings due to the inconvenience of starting and ending in different ports. And Royal Caribbean often sees lower demand for these, so oftentimes you can find some really great deals, especially 3 to 6 months before the cruise begins. It's a really surefire way to find a deal on a cruise to Alaska. Next up, book with a travel agent. I book every single cruise with a travel agent, whether a short weekend cruise to the Bahamas or a 2-week trip to Greenland. Doing so has saved me hundreds of dollars over the last number of years, and that's not even mentioning the added service and resources my travel agent provides before, during, and after the sailing. Yes, anybody can book a cruise on their own. It's not about that. It's about the different resources travel agents have that you don't have access to in order to get deals. The most common is agency-specific deals. A lot of travel agencies are part of consortia, and these consortia negotiate better deals with the cruise lines, and it's not uncommon for me to price out a cruise on Royal Caribbean's website or some other website, say, okay, this is the price, go to my travel agent, and then wham, bam, I get a better deal because my travel agent found a better offer because of a special offer code or some other incentive I was just not aware about. Equally important as saving money is also the resources a travel agent offers in terms of being able to answer your questions, whether it's about your Royal Caribbean cruise or anything else in between. If there's an issue, they can help you out. Another easy way to save money on a cruise and get a great deal is to book during the off season. If your schedule is flexible, you should book a cruise during the shoulder or off season instead of the peak season. Peak season varies by destination, but generally coincides with school holidays. Summer, holiday weekends, and school breaks for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and spring break tend to see the most demand for cruises. Therefore, if you're able to cruise outside of these peak times, you can almost always find cheaper cruise deals in the shoulder season. Sailing to Alaska in early September, for example, can be hundreds of dollars cheaper than sailing in mid-July. Likewise, booking a Caribbean cruise during hurricane season is typically much more affordable than during spring break. While there is a slight chance of a hurricane affecting your cruise, most itineraries will sail smoothly with no changes or cancellations. While not everybody can take advantage of sailing at non-peak times, especially if you got kids that are still in school, it can lead to great deals for those with more flexibility. Another surefire way to get a best cruise deal is to sail on an older or smaller ship. Royal Caribbean markets their newest and biggest cruise ships more than the fleet's older vessels, but that doesn't mean you should avoid the smaller ships. By searching for a cruise on older ships, you're almost guaranteed to find cheap cruise deals. The oldest ships, the Vision, Radiance, and Voyager class ships, often see some of the lowest prices. Despite the smaller size, many people really appreciate the more relaxed atmosphere of these ships and the unique ports on their itineraries. If you're hoping for a blend of cheap deal and new ship, look at cruising on an Amplified cruise ship. As part of Royal Caribbean's Amplified program, the cruise line made significant refurbishments on select older vessels. During the process, they added features like water slides, new dining venues, and revamped pool decks. Despite the addition of new features, cruise fares are still reasonable on Amplified vessels. Some of the best values in a cruise vacation can be found on ships like Mariner of the Seas, Independence of the Seas, and Navigator of the Seas. Another good way to get a good cruise deal is to be flexible with your departure ports. Flexibility is key to finding the best cruise deals. If you're flexible with your departure port, you can have a better chance of finding a cheap deal. Instead of sailing from Miami, look at sailings from Tampa, Port Canaveral, or if you live in the Northeast, check if there are any deals from Cape Liberty, Boston, or Baltimore. You might be surprised to find a cheap deal leaving from a less common cruise port. And also, don't overlook faraway departure ports as well. Something else you should be doing is looking at any and all cruise itineraries. Just as important as it is to be flexible on your cruise ship and departure port, you should also be flexible on your cruise itinerary to find a great deal. If you're set on visiting a particular port, whether Bermuda or Santorini, you'll be more limited in cruise options. Having more limitations means you have fewer options available, meaning you'll miss out on some of the best cruise deals. If you're looking at the absolute cheapest best cruise fares, keep your destination availability open. All of Royal Caribbean's cruise ports have something to offer, from the coral reefs of Australia to the cruise line's private island of Perfect Day at Cuckoo Key. The more flexible you are in your itinerary, the better chance of scoring a great deal. Another great way to maybe save some money on your cruise is to book a guarantee cabin. Booking a guarantee cabin on a Royal Caribbean cruise means you can save money on your cruise fare, with the caveat of not being able to choose your exact location. When you book a cabin guarantee, you give Royal Caribbean the power to select where on the ship your room will be located. If you book a guarantee balcony, for example, you'll be assigned at least a balcony room, but it could be located anywhere on the ship from deck 7 forward to deck 12 aft. The advantage of booking a guarantee room, of course, is to save money. Depending on the offer, you may be able to save over $100 by not choosing your cabin location. The disadvantage is that you can't select the exact location. If you're picky on your location for your cabin, it's best to pay extra to select the cabin yourself. Despite the lack of flexibility, booking a guarantee cabin is one of the best ways to make a great cruise deal even cheaper. Something else worth doing, especially if you got kids, is booking a kids sail free promo. As the name implies, a kids sail free promotion is an offer in which the kids can sail free, quote unquote, on a Royal Caribbean cruise. In reality, that means that any third guest and higher in a cabin who's 12 years old or younger can sail free on a cruise on cruises that are longer than 4 nights. Of course, there are some conditions to this offer. First, there are a lot of blackout dates, which are commonly found during the school holidays. Second caveat is that you still have to pay taxes, fees, and gratuities for all kids. The free deal is for the base cruise fare only. But despite all these exceptions, booking during kids sail free can usually save a lot of money on a Royal Caribbean cruise if their schedule is flexible. Also, try booking a longer itinerary. The shorter the cruise, the cheaper the cruise will cost, right? Not exactly. Most people assume that booking a shorter cruise will lead to a cheaper cruise fare, but that's not necessarily the case. As a matter of fact, some of the cheapest cruises are found on Royal Caribbean's longest itineraries. If you're cruising with a limited budget, don't search for only the shortest cruises. While a 3-night weekend might seem like it would be the cheapest option, this is hardly ever the case. Instead, keep your search flexible and search for cruises of varying lengths. Royal Caribbean's cruise fares aren't necessarily priced according to cruise length, but are based on a variety of factors, including ship age, time of year, itinerary, and demand for a particular sailing. Some of the longest itineraries, such as those repositioning cruises and transatlantics, see the lowest price per day of any cruise itinerary out there. Being open to more unique, longer itineraries can be a really good way to stretch your vacation budget further and have more time on board. Another good idea for saving money on a cruise is to keep an eye on going, gone rates. Every week, Royal Caribbean publishes a PDF flyer online of their going, gone rates. This is a list of last-minute cruise deals, and it's one of those convenient ways to check for the cheapest cruise fares available. I have a link to this PDF in the video description below. The flyer is published once a week, usually like on Monday late in the day, but it's not updated throughout the week. Therefore, it's only recommended to check the flyer on late Monday night or early Tuesday morning in order to help ensure all deals listed are still available. As cruises book up during the week, the deals listed on the PDF may no longer be available, but It's not a bad idea to get in there. Another way to save some money is to sign up for an email newsletter. Hoping to be notified about the best cruise deals, subscribing to the email newsletters from your favorite cruise lines and cruise websites help you stay in loop. As an example, the Royal Caribbean blog newsletter, which we publish, for example, is a weekly email in which we send out the week's top stories, some of which may include info on cruise deals. Likewise, you may want to subscribe to the Royal Caribbean's official newsletter, again, a link below the video. The cruise line sends promotional emails listing the current top deals and offers. Another way to maybe save money is to stay loyal to the cruise line. The higher your loyalty status with a particular cruise line, the better chance you'll have of finding a cheap cruise deal. If you cruise often with Royal Caribbean, I really do recommend sticking to the cruise line in order to grow your status within the Crown and Anchor Society. Platinum members and above in Crown and Anchor Society receive discounts on balcony and suite staterooms in addition to, of course, exclusive Crown and Anchor rates. Not only that, but single supplement fares are reduced for select Diamond Plus members, and Pinnacle Club members receive a free 7-night cruise at 700 and 1,050 cruise points. Although most people loyal to Royal won't reach Pinnacle Club status by any means, they can still receive the benefits of discounted cabins and onboard offers. Even if you don't find the cheapest cruise deal available, you'll still save some money with Crown and Anchor benefits like free drinks and complimentary laundry. And my last tip for finding the best cruise deal out there is to book with special rates for military, senior, and residency deals. Select groups of people may be eligible for special rates on a Royal Caribbean cruise. Knowing if you qualify for one of these special rates is really helpful before you book to ensure you find the best rate out there. Royal Caribbean's list of guests who may qualify for discounts includes guests that are 55 years of age or older on select sailings, police and firefighters, active, retired employee or volunteer, active or retired personnel in the military, and airline personnel. This is yet another good reason to use a good travel agent because they can easily apply all these discounts for you. You have to dig around for them. So there you have it, 15 easy ways to save money on a Royal Caribbean cruise and get the best possible cruise deal out there. Let me know in the comments below, what is your surefire number one way to save money on a Royal Caribbean cruise? Or better yet, what's your number one surefire way to get a great cruise deal? Let me know in the comments below. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube lets you know we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. We'll talk again real soon.